listening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Oh, Sandy, can't you see I am in misery? We fell or something, wished on a star. I said, I wonder why you left me, oh Sandy. Ladies and gentlemen, rest in peace to the legend, the one of a kind. I don't know why I already have a stutter, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Maybe it's because we've been out for over a week. But ladies and gentlemen, rest in peace to the legend Olivia Newton-John. Moment of silence. All right, Beowulf, I'm going to need you to be a little more respectful than that. Okay, listen. Got my dog here sleeping on the floor. My dog is slowly turning into that dog that just does everything with me. If I'm in the garage doing a workout, she's there. If I'm recording a podcast working, she's there. If I'm in a meeting, she's there. Okay, hey, I'm that guy now. But you know what? That guy is cool. That guy is cool. Except for the guy who just brings his dog everywhere. Where it's just like, okay, it's a bit much, buddy. You ever seen like the pictures on the buses, the guys with the backpacks with their dogs in it? I still don't know how people bring dogs on planes. Like I see people with their dogs and I'm just like, this is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to Monday. Okay. Your boy left you hanging out in the cold. That cold wind blows. All right. 1 week, we took an entire week off from doing an episode, from putting out new content. And let me tell you guys something. That is a first since the podcast started that we did not put out an episode. For 255 episodes, we did not miss a week of when we put out content. And you might be thinking, Evan, did you go on vacation? Were you in Italy or Spain or the Bahamas? No. I was in the room that you're seeing now. It's me. I was busy. Okay. That's all that happened. Is a lot going on in my personal life, a lot of busy stuff, exciting things, new things, cool things, slick things, neat things. You know what I'm saying? And I just got overconsumed. But listen, I got to be worried about numero uno. Okay. And at the end of the day, that is my comedy career. That is my podcast. And that is my entertainment that I put on the social media for the kids. Okay. Cause your boy, listen, if you don't know me by now, well, you got plenty of time, baby. I'm not one of these people, no new friends. I'm open to new friends. Okay. That's the silliest, williest thing ever. When people are like, no new friends. Are you sure? Because if you keep evolving, you're going to meet some new people. You're just not even going to be open to anything. It's like the fucking person who just eats mac and cheese their whole life. Yeah, mac and cheese is delicious. But you ever had an egg roll? You ever had an egg roll? You ever had a spring roll? Listen, you get too complacent. You get stuck in your mindset of like, I only eat egg rolls. You come around and accidentally eat a spring roll, knock your dick in the dirt. All right? Spring rolls are delicious. All right? I remember... Shout out to Dan Tran, R.I.P. Went over to his house for lunch one day after school. His mom, Vietnamese. He was Vietnamese as well. I'm not just saying his mom was. That'd be a weird story. But anything's possible in 2022. All right. Babies are being birthed and just deciding what they are. They are not even humans anymore. That's the thing, is these kids that are deciding that everything's a spectrum, you know. Whatever, do whatever, live your life. Do whatever you got to do to get through. But just know this is going somewhere, all right? Everybody, you watch a movie from the 90s, you're like, okay, maybe a little bit of progress is good. But it's also like the envelope keeps getting pushed. If we keep being okay with everything that's happening, in 20 years, this is going to backfire on you guys. Because your kid's going to come out and be like, fuck it, I'm a zebra, all right? And you'd be like, what do you mean you're a zebra? He's like, I take shits in the bathroom on the floor now, dog. Okay? Toilets are a man-made construct. That's what's going to happen. It's going to all backfire. Karma. What goes around comes around. You're over here trying to make 55-year-olds and up more understanding and progressive, let them live their life. Okay. They're on the back end. All right. They're enjoying the rivers and the lakes, and they're utilizing all the motorhomes. All right. Let them enjoy those years, those glory years. They're tired, and it's understandable, but let them enjoy that. Don't tell them that they need to respect you as a cat person, because in 20 years, 30 years, it's going to come back around for you. And it's not that it's going to be like, oh, well, I'm accepting of cat people and zebra people. It's going to be something that's completely different, because everybody's always got to outdo everybody else. And that's what we're in. All right. That's just where the world's going. Okay. Listen, I've had a week off. I'm talking fast and I'm talking heavy. Is your boy on cocaine? No. Never touched the stuff. I'm not even going to say I like the smell of it, because that's hacky. Listen, we're in a tailspin as a society, ladies and gentlemen. I've decided it, okay? Ring the alarm. We're on a tailspin. We're about 5 years out from society crumbling. That's what I've decided, all right? Ring the siren of like the tornado hurricane coming. It's coming. And I don't even know what's going to happen, all right? I just feel like that's where we're heading with whatever society is doing. I mean, let's not go into the scary side of it, but it's almost like, what do we do? What do we do moving forward? Okay. Before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about how I'm preparing for this. What have I done over this past week where I was gone? And I actually did go somewhere. Okay. I went somewhere leading up to the week, from Thursday to Saturday. And I went out to a deer lease. If you don't know, I think I've told this story before, where I got the opportunity. I'm in this networking cult, Networking Austin, shout out. Okay. And we meet once a week, Thursday mornings, 7 a.m. Your boy has to be in downtown Austin. Every night when I'm going to bed at like 1 a.m, I put a gun in my mouth and I go click, because I hate waking up that early. Okay. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. just to make it there, and 7 a.m. during the traffic on I-35. And listen, for anybody who has suicidal thoughts or depressed, I didn't really put a gun in my mouth. And you know what? That was a little extreme. I didn't even like saying those words, but I stand there, I sit there. Here's what I do. And I have a whole bottle of Flintstone gummies. The not even the gummies, the old chalky stuff, that were delicious. You eat like 3 of them. Listen, you eat a whole bottle of Flintstone vitamins, and my dog's going to find me on the floor, foaming at the mouth, seizing up, going, yabba dabba doo. It's just too much vitamin C. Your fucking gourd just pops. Maybe that's a nicer visual for you guys. All right. But I go to this meeting once a week. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking making it this week. You guys can't make me. All right. Because if I'm out Wednesday night at stand up, I'm getting back at 12 or something late at night. And then I got to wake up at fucking 5. My fucking Thursdays are useless. But anyway, I'm part of this group. It's a cool group of people. And some pretty high up people in Austin. It's a good group of people to know. One of them is a lawyer, great friend here in Austin. My man's older. All right. My man's 70s, 80s, that old. And him and I, we're thick as thieves. All right. That's my buddy right there. That's my friend. All right. That's my mate. If it goes down, he's going to be in my corner. All right. Because he's a lawyer. He hits me up randomly on a day and he goes, you want to go to the lease? Because I talked about I'd love to go deer hunting. He takes me out there last season. Your boy gets his first deer. Whew. Old man teaches me how to gut a deer. Just practical life advice. All right. Stuff that you learn from your father. But here's the thing. Your boy grew up with a Puerto Rican father. My dad did not grow up hunting deer. My man grew up in Brooklyn on the streets during a time when you had a higher chance of surviving World War II. You could have went to Vietnam and had a better chance than surviving in Brooklyn in the 60s. Okay. He grew up in Brooklyn. He wasn't hunting deer. He was hunting Italians. All right. He was out there rocking it in the free world, getting with fights with the Gallo family. Anyway, that's not my story to tell. That's neither here nor there. I don't have a lawyer present. listen, he didn't teach me how to hunt. He didn't teach me how to fish. My dad would tell me, hey, Mio, I don't know about this fishing stuff. He'd take us to Apollo Park, shout out Lancaster. He'd be like, Mio, I don't know about this stuff. We used to, all the fishing we did, we'd go to the grocery store, okay? As we go, we'd go back to the butcher. We'd say, hey, why don't you throw it to me so I can say I catch it? You know, I caught it. Yeah, I caught this fish. Yeah, I went to aisle 6. I said, hey, go long. That's my dad. Anyway, me and old boy, he taught me how to gut a deer. It's been a great time. And I tell him throughout the year because there's a lot of work that goes into a deer lease. All right. And if you don't know what a deer lease is, what it basically is, huge plot of land. Usually, I think this one's like 300 acres. And what the owner of this land does is they lease it out to someone, just like how you lease out a car or anything else, a rental, commercial property. You know how a fucking lease works. So they pay a yearly fee to be able to go out there year round. And you have to do a lot of maintenance. You have to work on the lease. You have to, so you can still use it. Bushes grow on the roads. It's pretty out there. There's nothing really going on. So you have to go out there and maintain it and also fill up the feeders with corn. So last week he said, hey, you want to go out to the lease? Or a couple weeks ago, you want to go to the lease? And I said, sure. But I couldn't go the full weekend. So he was like, let's go the next weekend. And I was like, okay, I have a wedding Sunday night, but let's go to the lease Thursday through Saturday. He says, you got it. We get out there. Your boy is doing man work. I feel like I'm back in good old Lopez Construction. All right. That was the construction company I worked for as a kid, as pretty much a sweatshop. But it didn't matter because my dad ran the company and it was before the internet. So I couldn't build a case. I didn't have the internet to Google child labor laws. I just had to put in the work. So I'm on this deer lease, fucking shucking 50-pound bags of corn. Just man. And listen, here's where you're stupid because I'm from California. All right. And when you get around these thoroughbred Texans, you can't show any weakness because it's true. I have to earn my keep. I have to earn my respect as a newcomer in Texas. I've been here for over a year. I'm barely allowing myself to buy a Bucky shirt now. All right. I respect the land. I respect the liberty and I respect the gosh darn laws of the land. All right. And you earn your keep around here. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm grabbing these bags of corn from one truck to the other, just trying to earn my keep. I look down after the first load of probably 15 bags of corn. All my fingers are bleeding on top. I have blisters on all of them. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Well, there was corn chalk all over these bags and they were so heavy and just the way the plastic was, they were just ripping all my fingers open. So I'm bleeding on all my hands. I have 40 more bags of this corn to move. So I'm can't show weakness. So I'm just I put on gloves and I'm just trying to do it. I have Band-Aids on and we get through it. That night, my fingers are just pulsing. Have you ever had that where you get a cut or something happens? It's not too bad. It's manageable. But then when you get in bed, it's pulsing and you can't sleep. And it was burning. There's probably all this weird corn stuff in there. It just wasn't a good time. But it was great work. It was man work. And it makes you satisfied. It felt like when you work all day on a farm. I imagine that's the fulfillment that you have. There's no real service. I'm not on social media. And I'm just out there rocking it in the free world, filling up feeders, preparing for deer season. I'm okay, yeah. I'm tracking hogs. That was the other thing that was out there were a bunch of hogs. We saw them when we drove in. So your boy was extra excited because hogs in Texas are considered exotics. And what that means is you can hunt them year round and you don't need tags for them. You can shoot as many hogs as you want. Any way you want. You can shoot them. They shoot them from fucking helicopters out here. So you can do whatever you fucking want to. You probably get weird with them if you want. I could cut one's head off, hollow it out, and wear it as a Halloween mask. And they wouldn't bat an eye. Fuck, they'd throw me a parade. That's how much they don't like hogs around here. So I'm excited. That first night, sleep decent, wake up, do a bunch of more chores, go into town, went to Uvalde. That's out where this lease is. And listen, I don't think I've really made too many Uvalde jokes around here. And just in general, it's not my brand. But being there, and when I say it's not my brand, it's not like on stage, on podcasts. I'm just like, But if someone's going to make a joke about it, listen, I'm a comedian at the end of the day. If something's funny, it's funny. But listen, being there changes it. When you see how all those people it felt almost shell-shocked. When you would go into these stores and you would meet these people, every store, every sign that you pass, Uvalde strong, it just felt different. It almost felt like 9/11. The couple weeks after 9/11, it must have been insane in New York. The patriotism, the weird connection of going through something that crazy together. It's like Band of Brothers kind of stuff. When you hear about people, when you go through a traumatic experience together, that's unlike anything else. It bonds you together in a weird way. And you could feel that radiating from this town. It's a very small town. I think the population was under like 5,000. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I just mean in passing, it's not like I had a conversation with everybody, but it was the way that everybody acknowledged you. Everybody, when you would open a door, walk through, people would nod at you. People would hold doors. People were very polite in a genuine way. It's not like a big city at all. Like when you're in LA, you're just another body that's taking up room. When you're just in these places that there's traffic and everything like that, people just don't appreciate and see value in other humans. You're almost taking away from their experience by just existing. I didn't get that in Uvalde at all. And it could be because they know so many people and they can instantly tell who are outsiders. But it was great people. And it was just kind of odd being there. And when you drive through like the town square and you can see where all, the flower memorials are and all these signs, and it was pretty heavy to be there. So that was kind of a trip to, I know it's always been kind of down the way from me, but to actually go there was pretty nuts. Beowulf, if you make another goddamn noise in here, we're going to have problems. Pretend like you can't fucking hear me. Goddamn trash dog. Came from the trash, I'll put you back in the trash. Yeah, pretend to be asleep. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. Listen, that's just me getting caught on film being a bad parent like Britney Spears to her kids. Huh? What? That's a deep reference if you guys don't know that. I might as well explain it. It's just a quick thing. There were recently some videos that came out. Kevin Federline released some videos that his sons recorded of her yelling at her kids and being like, you need to respect me as a woman, as your mother. And he tried doing it in a way to showcase that she was like a bad parent, but all these moms came to her defense. I didn't even think it looked bad. She was just like, you need to respect me. And like this whole like, no, I'm your mother. If I want to come into your room and do this, yeah, I'm going to. Life's gotten weird, with that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of stuff about respecting children's boundaries, like treating kids like they're adults to an unhealthy point. Like the whole, I was such a dumb kid. I really was. There was one time and this is embarrassing. There was one time at a natural history museum where there was this video, basically this kid, I was watching it, and it was like, if you can close your eyes and imagine that you turn into a bird and that you could fly around and experience life as this bird. They had this movie playing at Natural History Museum, and this kid did it, and he closed his eyes and he turns into a bird, and then he's looking through a bird's eye view of what everything's like. And it was like just showcasing this experience at the Natural History Museum. of like, and you could put your head in there and see what the view would look like as a bird. But I remember watching this movie that was illustrating it, and I thought, holy shit, if I just close my eyes hard enough and I really believe that I could be a bird, there's a solid chance that I would turn into a bird. And if I'm imagining that I'm doing it while my eyes are closed, maybe I actually become a bird, you know? It's fucking stupid. Okay, I was a dumb kid. I was a dumb kid with way too big of an imagination. All right, there was a time at Christmas I thought I saw an elf run around the house. It was a real thing. I really thought for years I saw an elf on Christmas. I think it was one of my parents' friends, you know? I thought it was real. I used to wait up at Christmas and be looking out the window trying to see if I could see a sleigh. Stupid. Okay, but here's the point. Kids are dumb. It's by design. Okay? By design. All right? Listen, 10 years ago, I was dumb in so many ways that I had it to grow older to be able to understand certain things about life. There's certain things that I now understand at this point in my life and the simplicity of caring about certain things that I never would have cared about before. When people, they care about, listen, I get so satisfied cleaning my garage, going through and just sweeping, maybe watering the lawn. I just care about it. When I'm talking about bills, when I'm talking about the AC, I care about it, okay? When I was a kid, I didn't give two shits about running the AC too cold. Now, turn into my father. But it's just something that happens. And the whole point I'm making, the long reason I'm saying this, is because we're getting to a point in society where we've given, and I think it's always a overcorrection. We're giving kids way too many decisions about their life. And you're probably like, Evan, what the fuck are you talking about? Isn't it kind of crazy that in Portland, they come out with like all this curriculum trying to teach kids about gender and trying to teach them and trying to push, there's been laws trying to push that minors should be able to do, gender confirming surgery underage, that they shouldn't need their parents' consent, that they shouldn't legally have to wait till they were 18 to go under serious surgery. Isn't that kind of crazy? Because I know at some point in my life, listen, we're talking about in the future, in the beginning of this episode, people wanting to be zebras and wanting to, be cat people and dog people. You don't think if I had a choice at 7 years old that I would have chose something other than a human? Okay? Because my view of what an adult was when I was a kid was just a man with a briefcase. That's just what I thought being an adult was. I didn't understand the complexities of it. I almost don't even understand how to say that word, apparently. But it's just, how are we going to be like to let little kids make a decision when they have no reference and experience of what life is actually going to be, but they're going to make a decision based off of their meandering experience at 7 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old. Dude, I remember when I was a little kid, I thought 15-year-olds were like adults. I was like, this is a grown-ass person. This dude has 9 hairs where a mustache goes. He's a man. He's shaving. Yeah. He probably has a 401k. That's just what I thought. And then people in college, I was like, well, you're ancient. You probably design museums, It's just crazy. It's just crazy where we're going. The whole point of this, I don't know how we got there from Uvalde and from Britney Spears. Oh yeah, with the whole Britney Spears thing of like kids talking back, and kids are like, I don't know. I think it's an overcorrection of people who felt like their parents were too controlling. So then now they're overcorrecting and respecting their kids' boundaries way too much rather than like a healthy respect of boundaries. I think it's just that. It's just everything's balanced, baby. At the end of the day, it's all balance. But something crazy that happened at the deer lease. Listen. One of the nights, listen, the AC isn't working right. It keeps shutting off and on every 30 minutes. And I'm sleeping in a trailer. All right. So it's like Chinese torture. I think that was the term for it. If not, I apologize for being ignorant. Where they would basically not let you sleep. And then there was like other weird little tortures. Prolific, Evan. I can't sleep. I'm hot. I go from sweating to cold because I was right underneath this AC unit. It's about 3 a.m. All of a sudden I start hearing this. Something running around in the trailer. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I start hearing it like on the metal frame of the bed. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's something running. All around me, mice are starting to run around me on this bed frame. Like it's some sadistic nutcracker play happening in this trailer. Dun, 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 dun. It was terrifying. I felt like I was hallucinating at the same time. And I was like, what happens? How long would it take for them to just eat me? You know? Because that's what it is. That's what that kind of thing is. I haven't slept for hours. I could fight off that sleepiness for a certain amount of time. But here's also the other thing. And this is the thing is that you hit a certain point of being tired, you don't give a shit what's happening. One of those mice could have curled up in my armpit and I went, all right, Squeaks, sleep well. Okay. Like there was a point I hit at like 4 a.m. I hadn't slept at all. All right. We're talking 4 a.m. of just laying there from like 11:30 at night, going from hot to cold, hot to cold. I got to the point where I was just fine with it. Oh, I also forgot a pillow. So I was sleeping with a rolled up towel. All right. Your boy was roughing it. What was the point of all of that? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Sometimes I waste your time. Welcome to the 7 Minutes in Evan podcast. If I did not welcome you guys, all right, you guys know the drill. All right. If it's your first time here, welcome. All right. But I am excited for deer season. All right. I really am. At the lease, we shot a bunch of guns, got ready. I also, one thing I'm excited about, I think this season I want to try bow hunting. For my business, I'm in talks with a archery store, Archery Country. Shout out to Tyler, runs a great shop there, Archery Country. He's the one I went to him for taxidermy work when I got a Euro mount done of my the deer I shot last season. It's basically where they take all the meat. They basically just put they like boil and bleach the skull. Beowulf, make another goddamn noise. Make another noise. They boil and like bleach. What? Come here, puppy. Come here. This dog is ridiculous. Anyway. They boil and they bleach the, are you making a little cameo in the back there? Little butt scratchies, is that good? Anyway, they boil and bleach the skull. It's like white and they just have the antlers and you like mount it on the wall. It looks dope. But he's a great guy. Him and I had a long conversation when I first went in there. So I'm going to be doing some video work with him. And I thought about it. I have my brother's bow. And I want to get it revamped, get it all fixed up, and I want to get a deer with a bow. That's the progression, you know, starting with a rifle. And I have a few months that I can practice and get good with a bow. I hope that's enough time. I'm pretty diligent, and I'm just gonna get prepared. And I'm gonna try taking out a deer with a bow this time. All right. So if you are a bow hunter or you know someone in the Austin area who's a bow hunter who wants to take a Padawan on, listen, I'm all open for it. All right. I'm looking to dive into this because the idea of bow hunting just sounds like so much fun. Yeah, I have guns, shotguns, pistols for like at home. But in the apocalypse, all that stuff, it only gets you so far. All right. You get a bow. And that's a renewable source, all right? You start whittling your own arrows. You know, you can kind of reuse them. Maybe you'll You'll lose a few here and there, break them, maybe you can fix them, but it's like, it's a resource that you might be able to reuse. And that's what I think. That's where I think it's going, is that when the grid falls, like we were talking about in the beginning of this episode, I'm going to be out there with a bow, just fucking taking out things, all right? Whatever I need to take out, whether it's dogs, cats, squirrels, blue jays, whatever I can, all right? Human. I'm sure, listen, we were all thinking it, all right? You don't think shit's going to get a little squirrely when the grid falls? That's what I think people don't focus on. Like, and that's what's kind of crazy is we like to avoid situations and we like pretend like it can't get bad. Like society just can't crumble. Like, oh no, like Rome didn't fall, right? All these great societies that just were hot. They peaked. They were white hot back in the day. Like they didn't crumble. And how did they crumble? From within. Like we don't think, because it hasn't happened, like we think America's always going to be here. Like I feel like what media and what the world does, I like want to stay away from politics on this episode. I feel like I just start becoming a broken record. I just feel like it, at the expense of our society, we try to impose wills into things. And I mean that in the media, business, politics, there we said it. It's always about at the expense of our integrity. It's like pulling oil out of the earth. It's like, well, there's no free ride with that. And it could be inflation, it could be whatever. But I just feel like if the grid failed, I don't know. I don't know if right now I'm equipped to handle it. I don't think I am right now. No, because I like AC too much. Like that's the thing, is you want to be on the grid or off the grid, but you want to be able to, like a sustainable resource, you know, for those first months is going to be crucial, because there's going to be chaos. It's going to get very weird for those first few months. I think that first couple weeks are going to be very chaotic. It's going to be like a different kind of chaotic, those first couple weeks, because it's like we're going to have resources. Like let's say the grid fails and there's no more electricity. We're going to have resources, but we have to somehow impose it. Like the National Guard would have to come in, military, and it would have to be like martial law, like very strict, just to stop the chaos. Like hopefully, you know, there'll be a few bandits here and there. I'll be running around with a mask on. What? Huh? Who said that? But I feel like that's what's going to happen. And then it's like, where it gets weird is that month after, where it's starting to set in, you know? If you can make it the first couple months, I think you're good. I think you adjust to the life. But I think areas, you want to be on a ranch. You almost want to be on a self-sustaining ranch. Like you want to be in an area that does have access to like livestock, to wild animals, resources that are like in the circle of life. You want a river going through your area, all right? You want some deer that are there. You want some chickens that are eating grubs and all this stuff that are resources that come back. That's what I feel, you know? And that's the goal. I feel like that's my goal with life, is just to be ready for the grid to fail, all right? But also that's just a nice way to live, to just be like, yeah, I'm good if something happens, in the sense of just survival and knowing what to do. Your boy spent hours yesterday just watching videos on field dressing animals. Is that weird? Maybe. Depends who you are. But I loved it. I found it fascinating. I feel like it's just skills that are good to know. And you're just prepared, you know, for if something ever happens. There's a weird confidence that you get from skills, from just acquiring new skills, like I'm fucking Liam Neeson. I enjoy it. Especially ones that are practical. You just add to the utility. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing with our life? I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode. All right, listen, your boy is back. I left you for a minute, but I am back. Okay, we're going to have solo episodes. We're going to have guest episodes, and we're just going to keep rocking it. Okay, we're always going to be getting bigger, better, faster, stronger for you guys. All right, you guys are numero uno to me. All right, and don't forget to like the episode, download it, subscribe, tell a friend. It helps the podcast. You can always DM me suggestions for guests and everything like that. And remember, no matter what, I still love you.